Hello, good evening. Give me a second here. All right. Still super hot, I bet. Yep. Let's go ahead and get into like what I was gonna talk about. I was actually gonna talk about this the other night, but I wasn't feeling very good at all. Like I was still coughing and stuff. I still have tiny bit, tiny bit of a tickle in my throat. Other than that, I'm good. What to talk about first? So the whole reason behind why I'm single still, and I have been. Let me grab this. Okay, so my very first girlfriend I ever had, and practically my only. I don't count middle school, I guess. Middle school, I only had a girlfriend for like a month, and then in high school, my sister, I kind of liked her. I don't know. At first, I kind of liked her. Then I was like, I kind of like told my sister I was like into her, but then it felt weird for me to like one of my sister's friends at the time, and she her friend who I liked was had a birthday party at their house and stuff. So she convinced her friend to let me go with her. So I actually went to her birthday party, and that's where I kind of like I got pushed, like because my sister knew that I liked her. My sister kind of like pushed me into like asking her out, so then I did, and yeah, I dated her for like 2 years of high school, and uh she used to come over to my house to hang out with my sister and me. Well, mostly me after I started to date her or whatever. And literally all we ever did was we sat. She literally came in my room and we just sat on the bed, and all she ever wanted to do was fucking make out with me. That's all we ever really did. And then I mean we did talk a little bit, but I also like I wanted to take her out and do things, but it's like she didn't really want to do anything. Like literally, when I went over to her house too, she literally all she wanted to do was take me to her room and shit. And I'm like, okay. And it got to that point where she wanted to like go to third base or whatever, and I was going to, but then I was like, I literally took out. I can't take it out on the street, but I was going to, so I like was about to like pull a condom out or whatever, and she's like, no, you don't need to use that. I'm like, hell I am. And she's like, okay, well, if you're not going to do that, then never mind. I'm like, why? And then she like didn't really give me a reason, and then she left after that, and then the next day she like broke up with me. So that's kind of like the short story of it. Well, it wasn't the very next day. Like I went over to her house, and then we had like a whole conversation, and she's like, "Okay, we want." I know what it really was. She was like making excuses. But yeah, that was my first relationship, and then after that, uh, I actually fell for another one of my sister's friends. So we went on a trip to California, and oh, that was a shit show actually, to be honest. Went on a trip to California for the weekend, like to spend time in San Diego, like in the beach or whatever. And she ended up going to like a party and shit with her, and then they both got like super fucking drunk, and I had to literally go because we didn't know where they were for like a good 9 hours or so. Like they didn't like message us back or anything because we didn't know where they were. So I literally had to scavenge. Like I walked up and down because we knew where like the area they were in. I had to like walk up and down the boardwalk or whatever of the beach just to like find the house that they were like at because they told us they were going to like a party. So I literally had to look in there. So then I literally went into the I went into the house where the party was at, and I literally had to like pull them out of there because and then when I tried to like get them to like come because my mom was driving up and down um the beach area because we drove all the way there to California from Arizona, and I had to like drag them back to the car because my mom was like super pissed because they got like drunk and shit, and they were like stumbling and shit. So and one of her friend didn't want to get back in the car and shit. So I was like trying to pull her. But actually, I think it was both of them. I'm not sure. I don't really remember. But it was definitely her friend. She didn't want to like come back in the car because my mom felt responsible because she took her on the trip and shit, right? And if anything happened to her, blah blah blah. So I literally had to like pull her into the car because she's like trying to like, she's like, nah, I wanna go party, blah. She was like super drunk, and but anyway, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was the night before that or whatever, but my brother was there with us. He went to the beach with us, but he like had his own like separate hotel room and shit. And we were up late at night, and we were kind of like bored in the hotel room, so we played a game of like truth and dare and shit, and well, it got a little too much. So like originally there was, okay, she knew I liked her or whatever, but originally the one of the dares, my brother was like, you two go get naked in the shower or whatever, right? And I'm like, and then she's like, no, how about you give me a dare first? And it was like, okay, go out and streak the street, up and down the street. I'm like, okay. And because I was like super desperate, I literally just took all my clothes off. Like my brother was like really surprised. He's like, what the fuck? I literally took all my clothes off and just literally ran out the door and fucking did it. And yes, my brother took a photo of it. I don't know if he still has it or whatever. Uh and then here's the sad part. I get back in the hotel room, and then she's like, nah. So it's like I did that for nothing. I got cucked. So yeah. And after that, let's see. In high school, well, actually, last year of high school, I was into another girl last year of high school. I tried to, ask her out and shit, but by the time I got up the nerve to actually do that, she ended up getting with some other guy. So yeah, that sucked. And that's pretty much sums up what everything except let's see, what else to talk about. Yeah, that's pretty much the sum of like me attempting to be in a relationship. Let's see, what else can I talk about? I'm trying to think. Oh, hey, I got an idea what to talk about. So because I'm an awkward and like shy person, literally every convention I ever go to, I never like hang out with people. So it's like, okay, so when I go to a convention, I literally go in, right? I walk around, and then I'm like this. I see somebody I know, I'm like, okay, cool, and I say hi or whatever, and then I just like walk around with them. Like I don't say anything because unless I have something to really say, I don't see the point in even talking. But then again, it comes down to me like being that awkward person that's like following around people. But then what happens is I literally follow those people around until I see somebody else I know, and that usually happens. Like, what was it? Last convention, I saw like 8, 9 different people, and they bump into me. I'm like, I hang out with them for the. I feel bad though because at the same time, it feels like I'm like ditching people because I go one person to another. So it's like I'm walking around, and then I see somebody else, and then I go to another person. And I'm like, oh hey, blah blah blah, and I actually do feel kind of like a dick because what was it, the last day of the con, I was hanging out with K Bubbles or whatever, and I saw I out of nowhere I saw somebody I knew, and I knew them and I've never met them before, so I literally just because she was busy talking to somebody else or whatever, I ran over there, talked to them, and then she was, they like invited me to hang out with them, whatever. So I'm like, okay, sure. And then I tried to go back to, say like I was gonna hang out with them, to her, but she was already like, left somewhere else, so I didn't know. And then I basically hung out with them the whole night till like one in the morning, and then I Ubered all the way back to my hotel. But I felt bad about that because I like didn't really say goodbye or anything. I was like, what do you call it? Just I was kind of like, in a way, I kind of what I'd usually do is I kind of I'm like an Uno card, and you place the 7 card down, and then it gets shuffled. That's kind of what it is. I go hop one group of people to the other that I run into. I'm a loner at cons, sadly. That's just how it is. I've always been that way. Um, but that's usually what I do. I don't really text people either. I don't like DM people or anything to find out where people are. I don't really do that. Mainly because I don't know. I feel awkward like trying to like figure out where people are. I don't like doing that. If I run into people, I'll run into people. What was I gonna say? What else? What can I talk about? No, I'd say that's like the main reason I'm like still single is because, one, I'm like too shy. Two, I'm very awkward. And I make like very bad first impressions on people. I don't know why. Most of the time I do. Let's see. What else can I say? What else can I talk about? But I think I'm getting somewhat out of my comfort zone with like being shy. Like I used to not be able to talk to people at all. Especially like last year to this year. Uh, Something I'm still working on though. And I think the other main reason like still single is, yes, I literally push people away because when I was at when I went to DreamHack, I went out by myself one night, and that one night was the worst. Um, because I literally went into a bar. I got by myself, got a drink, and then I literally like a group of like drunk ass girl, like 3 drunk ass girls, like came up to the. I was at the front of the bar or whatever, with the bar stools and whatever. I was sitting down, and so three girls come up behind me. He's like, "Oh, can I buy you a drink or whatever?" And then the other one was like all drunk, and they're like, "Ah, hey, what's up?" And then she like, "Oh, you really good, pretty good looking. Hey, you wanna drink?" I'm like, all 3 of these girls were trying to like, I don't know what they were trying to do, to be honest. And I'm like sitting at the bar stool, and they're like, they're so I'm like sitting right here, right, and there's one right here, and she's like all like that, and then there's another one right there, and another one right there, and I'm like awkwardly sitting on the bar stool. I'm like sipping a drink, and then this girl's like trying to have a conversation with me, and then the other one's like the other one was literally like trying to grab my ass and shit. I'm like, when she's like drunk all over me, like laughing and shit, and, because they're drunk and shit. They're like, and I eventually just like I sipped the drink, I finished it, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't want to have a conversation. I literally just like, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. I made the bathroom excuse. I literally just like, excuse me, I had to go to the bathroom. And I literally just like left. I didn't want to be there after that. And then I went back to my hotel room after that because I was like, nope, not doing this again. Nope. I don't like dealing with drunk people unless I'm drunk, and I was sober. I only had like 2 drinks. I'm actually really fun when I'm drunk, though. I have to admit, I am a lot of fun. When I'm sober, I'm very mellow and shy. I don't really say much unless I have something to say. Uh, but when I'm drunk, I'm literally all over the place. I'm just like, you know. What was I gonna say? I forget what else I was gonna say. No, I think that's my main issue though. And I literally push away at, like, if girls try to flirt with me and shit and I just like I don't have any interest in them, I literally don't even bother. I just like walk away or I don't even talk to them. And then it fucks me over because it's like any girl that I'm interested in and I try to actually have a conversation with, I fuck myself. Either that or they're just not interested in me. That's just how it is. But yeah, that's my main problem is like I don't really give people a chance and the fact that I'm like super shy. I think those are my two issues I have. It's kind of weird nobody's like saying anything in the chat. They're just here. It's weird. At least for me it's weird. I actually have a picture of my first girlfriend right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, let's see. There she is. Right. Oh, there. And I'm well aware I had like the whole Bieber style hair before, but I changed my hairstyle like 3 times, like in high school. I had really long hair in high school too, but that was like my freshman year, I think. Pretty sure. By the end of sophomore year, I had like long ass hair. Literally past my shoulder, actually. Hey, what's going on? You know what pisses me off though? I mean, it's not other people's fault. It's more my fault because I don't really talk. Is like if people don't want me around, like when I'm at like a convention and shit, I wish that people would just like tell me, just upfront tell me that they don't want me around. That's one thing that bothered me. That I found out this last convention. Hey, what's up, Ghost? Finally, somebody's actually talking. Is my mic working? I think it is. Should be. Otherwise, I've been having this whole conversation for no reason whatsoever. Okay, cool. Yeah, that pretty much sums up the whole like reason why I'm still single and still a virgin, by the way. I don't find it a really big deal, to be honest. Maybe it's because I really don't like care. I don't really care too much.